I want to be your next favorite finance content creator. So I've committed 2026 to be the year where I just try. Like the year of just trying. Okay, because this is a yap with me. Okay. Because this is a yap with me session, I'm gonna leave my Invisalign in. And, we're gonna test it out and see what I think. And if I don't like it, then the next video I make next week, I will not wear them. I feel like I always take them out when I'm filming, and I shouldn't do that. Like, I should learn to film with them in. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tito, and I post everything finance. We're gonna try to sprinkle in some lifestyle stuff. So you guys can get to know me a little bit. I started this YouTube channel because I have a goal of paying off all of my grad school debt as fast as possible. Like, I cannot understate enough how much it plagues me and sits on my chest all the time. And so I am trying to build community with people who also want to pay off their debts, but also like care about finances and being financially literate and being smart about their money. I realize that I sit down and watch YouTubers all day who talk about money and talk about their debt and talk about their student loans and talk about everything in between. And if I am gonna sit around and watch people film videos about that, I might as well make them myself, is what I decided. So I started posting YouTube videos this year with the goal of posting every single week for 2026. Honestly, that started because I saw this TikTok that was like every time you post on TikTok, it's like buying a ticket for the lottery and you never know when like your moment's gonna come. And so I'm like, let me do the same with YouTube. Once a week can't be that difficult. It's actually quite difficult, but I'll talk about that more later. But yeah, so that's like a little bit about me. For more background on me, which I guess I should give, is that I went to undergrad, had student loan debt from undergrad, hated having student loan debt from undergrad, paid it off as fast as possible before I went to grad school. So I went to grad school debt free. And part of that is because I moved to New York City after undergrad and I was paying rent there, but I was also paying a lot of money towards my loans, as much as I could like possibly do at the time with my $65,000 salary. And then the pandemic hit and I moved home, and I was paying both my rent and towards my loans for a while, and there was no interest on loans at the time because of the pandemic, which was huge. And then I got out of my New York City lease, and then instead of like saving the money from my lease that I like no longer had to spend, I started putting all of that towards my loan. So like I was like drilling down on them as fast as possible. And the feeling that I had when I finished them was like imaginable. Like I think it actually might have been one of the best moments of my whole life, just to go to grad school and take out more debt. So I graduated with $160,000 of debt from my grad school program. I paid off $80,000 in 2025, and I don't think I'll be able to pay off as much this year because I'm saving for a wedding, but we are going to try to get as close as possible. That way in 2027, I only have a little bit left to go and I don't have to stress about it. And I can't wait to be finished. So that is why I started making YouTube videos. That is who I am. That's my story. That's my journey. I can't wait to share it with all of you. This is going to be more of like a FaceTime with me kind of call. Like, mostly because I'm not sure what to post this week, but also because I just feel like I need a second to sit down and talk to you guys about life and what's going on. I think I want to talk a bit about social media and posting, and I'm open to thoughts. Like, I'm really open to anyone's opinions and thoughts on this because and no one's going to watch this video because it's not going to be that enticing from the whatever. I think my thing with social media is that I cannot tell if people are telling the truth or not. Like, I can't really tell if there's a ton of money to be made. I can't tell if people are really like changing their lives with digital products and posting on YouTube and posting on TikTok and brand deals and all that stuff. Like, I know people are doing that because I see like people like obviously Alex Earl, or like there's this guy Bran, or these like financial influencers that I follow, like Erin, this girl Erin, and there's someone else who's really, really good that I follow too. And like they say that these things change their lives, and I believe them. Or like Jazz and I think it's Hallie. Yeah, Jazz and Hallie on TikTok, like a bunch of these influencers that just come up, or like the Williamsons family, or like there's like the Henrys, or I don't know, Maya Knight, like who was like had her twins back in the day. Like all these people that I see on TikTok, there are a bunch of people who like post on YouTube, but also YouTubers that are doing really well for themselves. And I'm just always so curious if like I mean, I believe them. Like, I believe those people. I'm like, they are doing really well. But can like an average Joe like myself or other YouTubers that I come across who have like 40 subscribers, like, do they have the same chance or is it just luck? You know? So I'm trying to use 2026 as a time where I can dedicate I'm gonna try to dedicate as much as my energy as possible outside of, like, my full-time job and planning for a wedding and hanging out with my friends and, like, living a life and trying to be a full person. I wanna dedicate as much as my time as I can to posting on social media. I just think it's easier said than done. I paid off $80,000 of student debt, and that's because I started to take my finances really, really seriously, but also because I make really good money in my 9 to 5 job. So those two things together help me pay off so much of my debt. A huge thing that I attribute that to is budget tracking, like expense tracking. I have now for 1 year tracked every single expense. I started in October of 2024, and my first full year of doing it was 2025, and I'm continuing it in 2026. I like cannot underscore enough that I think it's, like, life-changing. I think that's what's really changed the trajectory of my student loans and of, like, honestly, my life and my relationship with money because I think that I didn't realize how much money I was really spending, especially when I was in grad school. Like, I just didn't understand that it was literally falling out of my ears, and expense tracking has really changed the game for me. Had a company's budget tracker that I was using, but I ultimately decided that, like, if they can sell this budget tracker, I can sell one too. And so I made one and I started selling it, and I have 11 people who have purchased it, which is great. And I'm trying to be grateful because I think that like 11 is better than 0 and you have to start from somewhere. So I've decided like that's like a digital product that I'm going to start selling and invest in and all this stuff, but I'm just always I don't remember why I was talking about this, but I think my point is that I'm just fascinated by how people have been able to make it work. And my is not just to post on social media, and I'm like not really like I have to get the brand deals, I have to do that. Like, I do want to build community online, especially when it comes to people who care about money and thinking about money and saving money and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I do also want the financial benefits that come from posting on social media. And so I'm always so fascinated by people who post online and are so successful. And like I have seen over the last 3 months how much work goes into doing that. And I'm like doing it half. Like I'm doing 25% energy, I think, because I just don't have the bandwidth to like fully dive in the way that I know some other creators do because I'm like working 9 to 5. But that's not really an excuse because there are plenty of creators who work 9 to 5 and who also like give their all to YouTube and TikTok and everything else. So I don't know. I just think 2026 I think that's what I was saying. 2026, I'm gonna treat it as a year for like setting up the building blocks for what I want to do with this. Like my ultimate goal is to one, build community with people, like I said, but two, sell my digital product online. And I think that like social media is a great way to do both of those things, but it doesn't happen overnight. So I've committed 2026 to be the year where I just try. Like the year of just trying. Maybe I'll name this video that. So yeah, anyway, if you're watching this video and you're listening to this and you are interested about money or interested in XYZ pickleball or eating out or whatever, wineries or travel, like and you're interested in posting on social media, like I used to watch these videos all the time and I never really thought that I could do it, even though it was something that I used to do when I was younger and I used to like do it as a hobby, but I felt like I just didn't have what it took or like I don't know, I just felt like I didn't have time. Like I don't know what was stopping me, but I've committed 2026 to be the year to just try, and I highly recommend that you do so too if you're at all interested. Because if nothing else, social media is a creative outlet, and I'm not the most creative person, um, but I've been trying. So 2026 is the year of trying. We'll see how it goes. Another reason why I started posting is because I wish that I had someone who had moved me enough to take my finances seriously when I was like running amok in grad school. Like it is crazy how like off of literally student loan debt, I was like traveling the world. Like I like would go out to eat with my friends all the time. I would travel like I visited more countries than I think in the 3 years I was in grad school, I think I visited more countries than I'll visit for the rest of my life because I like working for a few years and then going to grad school made me realize that like grad school is like a break. Like in some ways, like it's a way to like have ultimate flexibility or as much flexibility as one can when you have like classes and stuff, compared to work where you have like a slotted amount of vacation days and you can't just like pick up and go. And so I used every opportunity, every excuse to get on a plane both in the US and abroad, and I loved it. I had a blast. Even with the stress that my loans are putting me under right now, I don't think I would change anything. Um, I think, but like I wouldn't trade the experiences that I had because of the money that I took out and traveling on loans and stuff, but I do have some regrets about maybe the dining out. Like as much as the traveling was good, I would stick with that. The dining out was insane. The like Going to clubs was insane. Like, it just felt so unnecessary. It feels unnecessary now looking back, but in the moment, it just felt like this is what you do. You're in grad school, you're supposed to network, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And like, you're right. And I built amazing connections and met amazing people because I, allowed myself to live freely. But now I'm living with the consequences of those actions. And I don't envision buying a house for so many years because I just don't think that I can do it debt is with how much debt I have to pay off and the toll that it takes on me. Like, I just don't even see it for myself. Um, which is like, champagne problems. Like, fine, like you maybe can't buy a house, but you can pay off $80,000 of debt in 1 year. So like, who cares? Like, whatever, which is fair. Um, but I don't know. I just wish that I think that in my era of like spending money, I wish I didn't wait till after the fact to get knowledgeable about money and spending and how quickly you can lose money if you're not paying attention to it. Because I think that I maybe would have be in a different position right now. And I hope that if somebody comes across this video, they feel inspired to take their finances seriously in the interim, like while they are in grad school or while they're deciding whether or not they should go to grad school or, especially right after when you're trying to pay off your loans. Like, there are people who I've seen who moved me and they just moved me what I think is a little too late. So hopefully somebody stumbles across this when it's not or doesn't feel like to them like it's too late. Because I mean, realistically, I'm being a little dramatic, like it's never too late to take control of your finances and sooner is always better. Sooner is always better than later, but later is better than not at all. Hopefully, if this is you and if this is you and it feels familiar to you and the feeling that I'm talking about, rings true to you or sounds familiar to you or you resonate with what I'm saying, let's connect. Like, let's build community. Like, let's, chat. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a bit about me and like why I started this channel and what I hope to gain from it and what I hope you gain from it if you're still watching. That's me. That's my journey. That's where we're at. That's my plan. That's my hope. That's my dream. I want to be your next favorite finance content creator. Like, that's what I want. That's my goal. That's my hope. And hopefully this video gives you a little glimmer into why I want that and where I'm coming from and what I hope for people that are watching. And yeah, so that's really it for me. Short video today, maybe. I don't even know how long this is going to be. Probably not that short, honestly, but shorter than last week's. I hope that you I hope that you enjoyed getting to know a bit about me and a bit about my hopes and dreams and what I hope for this channel and why I started it. But so that's it. Please subscribe if you want more content like this, or actually subscribe if you like found this moving even for 2 seconds. Like, even for 2 seconds, if you liked it, you enjoyed it in any capacity, please subscribe. I post videos talking about like my monthly budgeting and finance tips and, expense tracking advice and stuff like that. So if that moves you or if that's interesting to you at all, you know how to subscribe. You hit the button right there. Thanks for watching. Bye.